just wondering how you're both getting on. How are you getting on under the current circumstances, Liana?
I'm doing okay. I feel like it's been enough time to where I've very much adjusted to this life. I feel like in the beginning it was like, oh wow, okay, like I can't go to a store really, and I have a lot of anxiety going into a store if I have to, and like, you know, stuff like that. But now I feel pretty well adjusted and comfortable, and things are all right.
And Cara, you've got somebody to take for a walk every day, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly. Keeps me busy.
She's not going to put in an appearance, is she?
She found, actually, you know what? She found a cord. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Being a dog mom. That's a real
we'll
thing.
Edit that out.
That's so cute. My friend just got a dog.
We'll edit that out, Cara, don't worry.
Going crazy.
The joys of being a dog mum.
Well, yes.
Congratulations to you both on the film. I really, really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
How did you both come to be involved? How did it happen for you, Cara?
I got the script in an email from my agents that said, Martha Stevens wants to Skype with you if you like this script. And of course I read it and I fell in love. It was really quick and easy. Yeah, I pretty much opened the script and it really spoke to me, and I got on the phone with Martha and said, please, please let me be your Iris. And the way she spoke about the film, you know, having a vision of it in black and white, I was very excited, and really, I mean, I couldn't have been luckier with getting Iris. And
what about you, Liana? How did you get involved?
Similarly to Cara, I received the script and was said that if I responded, that I could meet with Martha. She happened to be in town. I could meet her at a coffee shop, and I read the script and I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be an incredible movie. I have to do anything to be part of it. And I made like so many notes on Maggie, and then I like went to the coffee shop and I like plopped down all of these notes, and I was like, so this is my opinion on Maggie and this is what I want to do, and blah, 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 blah. And Martha like she's like a very quiet person and like really studies you. Like I really thought I scared her. I was like, there's no way she's ever gonna ever want to meet with me again. But for some reason she liked me, and she wanted Cara and I to meet a few days later, and just to kind of see us together and how we would act. And I was very excited about that. And we got to spend a few hours together, just like getting to know each other and getting to know the characters. And then next thing I knew, we were in Oklahoma together.
So thinking about what you were like when you went to meet Martha about the part, that's probably not too far away from the character, actually, because she is quite assertive, but she's also got secrets, which I guess must have been part of the appeal.
Definitely. I would say that was a big appeal for sure. There were a lot of appeals, but that was definitely one of them. Yeah, I actually didn't even think about that. Maybe I just reminded her a lot of Maggie.
Probably just clicked in her mind, and that was it. And Cara, what about your role? Because Iris is very different, very shy, very sort of introverted. Was that part of the appeal of the role for you?
Definitely. There was a lot that I think Iris had to do without dialogue, or, you know, in a very subtle and reserved manner. And I felt like it would be a really interesting challenge to take someone whose mannerisms were going to be very small and very internal and portray what she was feeling. I thought that would be a good challenge. A lot of fun. And she's a bit different from anything else I've played before, which was also really exciting.
That's always a good thing. I mean, I get the definite impression that you really liked working with Martha and that you wanted to work with her. But what was it like? I gather she's a bit of a 1960s expert.
She's what is it, just 20th century in general, Liana? Doesn't she just know like everything? If you give her a plate from with like a pattern on it from the 20th century. She can tell you probably not just what decade, but I think she could normally name what year that pattern is from. She is so full of knowledge. It's insane. She, just a wealth, an abundance.
I remember being on set and she had like a very specific idea of a type of car that she wanted for a certain scene. And it was like the car was like 2 years younger than what she was looking for. And I was like, oh, cool. That's a sick car. And she was like, yeah, no, it's just not the one. I was like, what? Like, wait, how do you even, like, no one would know this except for you. But like that she is so like, she's so focused on the detail and cares so much about like what the audience is going to watch. Like, it's such a beautiful quality.
Which is probably why the film has that wonderful sort of authentic feel to it. It really feels like the time in which it's set. Am I right in saying that she actually was wearing a T-shirt during filming that actually had the Last Picture Show on it? So I read that somewhere. And the film reminds me so much of the Last Picture Show. Have either of you seen that one?
I haven't, but I know that was a big inspiration for her. I think that's like her favorite movie, right?
It is her favorite. I know. We probably should have watched that, Kara. I don't know why.
Yeah,
it's a really good film. You should, and then you'll see what I mean, and you'll probably understand why she loves it so much. So apart from using her knowledge, which is obviously really extensive, what sort of research did you do yourselves for your parts, and indeed the film in general? I'm thinking particularly about the clothes, because of course they're all about very, very tight waists and look really uncomfortable, actually.
Sure.
So,
They were
Liana?
very uncomfortable. Yeah, they were. That was, I think, a lot of what helped us immerse ourselves into the whole experience and the period that we were filming in. Like, we were wearing all of the clothes, like down to the bullet bras, and so and that totally does change performance and how you walk and talk and everything and sit. And I mean, I think for both, I mean, Kara, I'm sure you probably feel the same way. Like, both of our characters didn't feel very comfortable in their own skin. So,
oh my god,
yeah, so that was like a really interesting thing to play with the clothing and whatnot.
So the fact that you were uncomfortable in the clothes probably helped with that then.
Yeah, it was like naturally repressive. So I feel like there was you have to almost, I want to say, compensate. Does that make any sense at all? Liana, did you feel that way at all? Like, kind of having to, I felt like I had so many skirts on that I had to make myself extra present just to not be swallowed up by all my clothing.
Have quite a few layers. I didn't get, because they tried to make a little bit of a difference between her and I, because she was wearing like almost like a petticoat situation, because it was like your clothing was a little bit more dated, and then I was a city girl, so I had like the pencil skirts and stuff like that. But I remember Martha, we were looking at different outfits, and I saw pants in one of Maggie's outfits, and we were like, we have to make that the moment that Maggie kind of decides to rebel and have her moment with Hazel, because we were like, yeah, let's have her wear pants. Like, she's more with the time, she's moving forward, looking at the future. So that was sort of an intentional move for us.
And what was it like for you filming in Oklahoma? Because it looked actually really quite hot and dusty and dry and not a lot of fun.
It was hot, it was cold. It was, I mean, we made it so much fun. We had such a good time. I don't think either of us had ever been to Oklahoma, so neither of us knew the area or what to expect or what there was to do. But I think as soon as we got together in the hotel lobby with the George Foreman grill, I think we were fine. We were like, this is going to be so much fun. Plus, everyone was so excited to have a movie filming in the area that everyone was really kind and welcoming.
Yeah, at one point, the guy who was like the manager of the hotel, like one day just showed up doing transportation for us. We were like, aren't you the guy that works in the front desk? He was like, yeah, here I am. Like, I'm here to work. We're like, okay. It was pretty funny.
It was like a big thing for the whole town then.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is great. I mean, if they all got involved, and presumably it was a short shoot though. I mean, you I get the feeling it was probably only a few weeks. Am I right?
How many days, Liana?
Days, I think.
20?
1 year. I think so. But you know, it's
Like
cool.
that.
I feel like in Los Angeles, everyone is so accustomed to people filming, and almost and some people even get annoyed. Like there have been plenty of times where we've like been filming in a neighborhood and someone has like literally blasted music just to get us out of the neighborhood. And but when you go to a place like Oklahoma where it's sort of like this crazy novelty to bring a movie in, it's like it's like all hands on deck. Like people are excited and they want to know about it. It's really fun.
Now, I gather the film was shot in black and white and in colour as well. And when it was shown at Sundance, it was shown in black and white.
Yes.
Did that make any difference to the actual filming process for you two? Or did you not really notice it?
I don't know about so much for you and I, Liana. I don't mean to, or what do you think? Were you?
You're right. You're so right.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like that was more for set decoration and the cinematographer, because they had to consider both versions. If it was going to be shown in black and white or in color, they wanted their work to be equally beautiful. So that was an extra challenge for them.
We're getting the colour version in this country. So have you seen both versions?
Yes.
And yeah. Any preferences?
I prefer black and white, but the color is gorgeous.
The colour is lovely. I'd love to see it in black and white because I think it would just give a different perspective.
Yeah. The black and white is, Martha made a good point when, right before we started filming, she kind of told us that was her vision for it. And and she kind of said that it was important to do it in black and white because it kind of forces you to focus on the performances more because you're not as distracted by everything in the background and whatnot. But I mean, I remember being on set and looking at all of the set design and our outfits and everything. And it was like, oh man, that would be beautiful in color too. So I feel like you get the best of both worlds.
Right.
And Liana, you've got Tony Hale as your dad in the film, the one and only voice of Forky from Toy Story 4. What was it like acting with him? Because some of the scenes between you two are actually quite tough.
Yeah, he is so lovely. And Malin Akerman is incredible as well, who plays my mother. I feel like I'm the type of person that there have been times where I've like taken my character home with me and like really lived in her. And there are times where I've been like, you know what, I'm just gonna like leave this on set and not take it back because sometimes that can kind of hurt your head a little after a while. And I sort of made the decision on this set that I was going to do the latter. I was, gonna leave my work on set and not bring it home. And it seems to me like Tony and Malin are very similar. Like they put the work in front of the camera, and the moment the camera's not rolling, it's so much fun, laughter, sharing stories, having a great time. And that was really nice for me because obviously all of those scenes were very heavy to do, but it was nice getting to just leave it all in the camera and then move on and talk about our families and what we're up to and stuff like that. They're very cool.
And strangely enough, you've got another film coming out about in the UK anyway, in about a week after this one, and that of course is Banana Split.
Oh, it's coming out next week?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah. So what can you tell us about that? What part do you play in that?
I play I play like a new girl who befriends well, I tend to, it's very like female empowerment vibes happening with these two movies, which is great. My friend Hannah Mark stars in it. She just breaks up with her high school boyfriend and then finds out that this new girl comes in town and is starting to date her ex-boyfriend, and they become secret best friends. So it's sort of like semi autobiographical for Hannah. It was an experience she went through when she was in high school, and yeah, it's kind of been her love child for many years. So I'm excited that everyone gets to see it though.
And Cara, of course, we remember you in Wes Anderson's Moonrise Kingdom, which must have been a very different experience to making this film. How would you compare the two?
Oh, Well, to be honest, Moonrise Kingdom was kind of a whirlwind experience because I was 12 years old and I had never really acted before. So it was this giant rush of information and experiences in a hugely new environment. I'll say by To the Stars, I felt like I knew what I was doing a bit better. I felt like I had a better grasp on just character work and how to do. So I felt a bit more confident by the time. What?
You were so good in that movie. You're a pro.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was. Plus, Wes Anderson and Martha Stevens have a very different directing style. Wes Anderson is a bit more specific with exactly what he wants. I used to tell a story about how there was a scene where I'd hold a book in front of my face and he would measure the length from my face to the book that he wanted, and if I moved it like an inch, he would come over and fix it. Which
that's specific, yeah.
Yes,
okay.
yes. So it was a bit more like being in a dollhouse, is how I like to put it.
Yeah, that sounds about right when you consider how some of his scenes are structured. That sounds absolutely, spot on. So what have you got coming up next? Anything in the pipeline?
I am supposed to go and start work on a movie in, well, I would say this summer, but pretty much whenever I'm allowed to. I have a couple more projects, and then I have a movie called Drunk Bus that was supposed to go to South by Southwest this year that I think should be coming out soon, but I don't exactly have a date or anything on that.
Okay. And what about you, Liana?
Yeah, I'm in a little bit of a similar boat. You know, there were things in the works, but obviously with this horrible virus that is going around, we're not quite sure what's getting off the ground at this point, but hopefully soon something will come down the pipeline. I mean, I'm there with To the Stars and with Banana Split. Like, we weren't entirely sure when those movies were going to come out, and I feel like during this time it kind of was perfect. People are at home and they want to, you know, watch something new and creative and cool, and so that's been nice that we get to talk about something like this during this time because everything else is so up in the air.
That's great. Well, look, fingers crossed for both of you. Thank you very much for your time. It's been great talking to you, and stay safe.
Yeah,
Thanks.
you too.